Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the wild and unusual depths of the Paranormal Portal. I'll be your guide, your host, your leader. Took me forever to think of leader. I'll be guiding you through this twisting, unusual path that is the Paranormal Portal. Thank you all for joining us as we dive into yet another installment of the worlds of the weird and wonderful. Barbara Moore over on Rumble says, by the way, Tex is doing community service for his No Shirt podcast. I don't know what that means. I don't know what kind of community service you can do, but I'll guarantee you one thing, that in no point in the foreseeable future, barring some kind of head injury that I can't control, I will never stream shirtless. There's just some things I can't say that I would ever do to you. So there you have it. I will remain shirted and hopefully lint free. I got a little lint here. There we go. All right. So this is Wednesday night, of course, here on the portal, and we got a lot of getting to do. So as always, you know, it'll go good. What is this? Thank you, Maggie, for posting that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something that came up when I was in a conference with the YouTube, with my YouTube rep, and I found out that it is necessary for each and every one of you, in order to receive a gifted subscription. Like you'll see T-Bone gives out subscriptions quite a bit. Josh Casto gives them out. If you want to be in the running for that, you do have to opt in. And not only that, you have to opt in on every channel where you want to get a subscription. So if you want to be considered for receiving one of those, you do have to opt in. And Maggie did post a link. If you scroll up on YouTube, you can see that. And that will kind of walk you through, I guess, what to do. That's what the YouTube rep said. I didn't go through it line by line myself, but that is interesting information, and I wanted you guys to know that. because you can't receive one if you're not enabling gifting on your account. Now, I don't know why it doesn't do it account wide, but it makes you do it for each channel you visit. You got to opt in on that channel. So learn it, remember it, and then you can be in the running and possibly receive one of these gifted subscriptions when they pop up. There's no knowing when it's going to happen, but thanks for being on Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal. I've subscribed to them, and now ball playing catch up on their episodes. Good. Well, thank you, Marie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with those guys. They're nice people. That was my first time meeting them. I was on, as Marie says in the chat, I was on Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal channel on their podcast YouTube channel. And we had a good time. We had a good discussion. Very nice people. I want to thank them for letting me on. And we'll have to get them over here for a talk sometime too. That'll happen eventually as soon as I catch up to my sanity. Mr. Shane Grove is in the house. Are you doing the show without me this week? You're welcome to pop on. I'll send you a link if you got time. I don't want to just keep pestering people like, hey, you want to come and do the show with me? But you're welcome to, brother. You let me know in the chat if you want to pop on. I'll send you a Zoom link and we can make the magic right now, brother. We can do it on a heartbeat. It's not an open invitation I give to many people, but you're welcome, man. So we got a lot to get to, obviously, here on the show. We've got to get to the news, of course. Then we're going to get to an article that we're burning through a little bit, some military encounters with the paranormal from Thought Catalog. A pretty cool article. I've enjoyed it. And then we're going to get into the cryptid corner, and of course, what the hell is that? I got a ton of things pulled up for what the hell is that tonight. So I'm not sure how many we'll go through, but we'll go through as many as we can. But good to see you all. Bill Simone, Chucky Danger, Rachel gets it right, Marie Garman, Eric Fry, Chucky Danger again. The Goblin is here. Poncho Zorch. Maggie's here. Vincent's here. Let's see, who haven't I said? As I'm scrolling quickly, Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal. Oh, they're in here. Great to have you guys. Thanks for stopping in. And yeah, we'll get you guys on the show as well. You guys can come here and hang out or on the podcast or both, whatever you want to do. We can talk, obviously, quite well and exhaustively together. So that was good. I was also on Dave Scott's hour number 3 last night, so that was fun. If you missed that, Dave and I were hanging out talking about haunted dolls and so much more. So we had a good talk last night. Hour 3 on Spaced Out Radio. And tomorrow I'm going to be on Jen Noseworthy's podcast, which is, I think it's pre-recorded though. I don't think that one's live. But at any rate, there's a lot of things going on. And I'm going to be on Bigfoot Michigan Rob's show tomorrow morning. So 10 a.m. I'll be starting out with Bigfoot Michigan Rob over on his show, and then at 3 I'm doing another interview, and then I gotta somehow find time to do my own stuff. But yeah, it's great to see you all. Kitty Cattywhack is in here, and she gave a donation. Woo! God bless you, Kitty. Appreciate it. Excellent. Eric Fry is here. Great to see you. Elaine Clifford, Nathan Nate is in the house. Chucky Danger, Dale Atkinson, and I might be up to speed on the YouTube. Deborah Neighbors is here. Good to see you, Deborah Neighbors. Welcome. And Karen Alberding, of course. She made it just in time, she said, as she came in the door, so that worked out perfectly. And Owl 13 is here. God bless you. Good to see you. As well as Annie Manul. Good to have you here, Annie. Great to have you. I'm just looking quickly for names that I haven't said yet. Just saying hello to everybody, and then we'll get going with the news and find out just what the hell's going on tonight. So I think that's everybody. That if I missed your name, just say hello to me in the chat, and I will say hello back, because I want to acknowledge you guys. And then over in Rumble, I've got Barbara Mora over there. I've got Dog Digger over there, and I got Car Juice over there. I'm sure Justin Gooderith will pop in at some point. The guy's got a pretty, Dachshund Master's in here. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Wonderful to have you here. Appreciate it. Crikey, Brent, that's a full schedule. Did you like that, Maggie? I kind of did that Australian. I've been practicing a little bit. It's Australian for beer. Sorry, I keep thinking of that Foster's episode. It cracks me up. So, Shane, what do you want to do? James Brown of Paranormal Podcasting. Hardest working man I know. God bless you, Shane. Shane, you want to come on or no? Just tell me. I didn't see your answer. I was scrolling names. Let me just look up and see if you said something. Or are you ignoring me? Were you just giving a drive-by guilt trip quick? I don't know. But you're always welcome, brother. You just let me know. I know that you have to be up early, so I kind of hesitant to say, yeah, you should be on my show every day. I'd have you on every day if you wanted. Thank you for being on the show. Oh, $333 US. Woo! Thank you, Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters. I appreciate it. Wonderful donation. Thank you, guys. Aussie Tip Rats here. Need more practice on your Australian accent. Yeah, I'm working on it, though. I'm working on it. It's very, very passively. I don't sit around and actually practice it that much. Sometimes I can just spit out some words that are kind of Australian, but usually I don't even do English real well, American English. So, Aussie Tip Rat, good to see you, man. Yeah. I guess that brings us up to where we are, and that's time. A dingo isn't eaten my Sheldon. Nope, he's not been eaten by a dingo yet, so that's good. Send me a link. I'll jump on for a few minutes and keep you company for a while. Well, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. An impromptu special guest tonight, Mr. Shane Groves of From the Shadows podcast. Making me earn it here. Let me pull this up and get... What the hell did I do? There it comes. New meeting. Just for Mr. Grove. Start. There it is. It's in position. I got to minimize this. I got to pull the link from here. Where do you want me to send it, Shane? I don't remember where I sent it last time. Let's see. Let's see if it was email. Might have been email. I'll just type in Shane and see if anything comes up. I don't remember emails. There you are. There it is. I found it. All right. Link. And then Mr. Shane Groves will be joining us post haste. I think it's sent. Check your email, Shane. Let me know. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Paranormal Portal News, where we cover all kinds of strange and wonderful stories. Sometimes they're paranormal. Sometimes they're just abnormal. Sometimes they're weird. Sometimes they're interesting. But we cover a whole host of things. So we're going to get into that now. Are you ready? Hang on, folks. We're going in. It's time. Oh, by the way, breaking news. Let me do this first. And then I'm going to give you some breaking news in a moment. Yeah, I actually have to change the screen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news tonight, right off the presses, folks. I'm here to tell you there's some amazingly good news going on right now, and this is phenomenal in a paranormal portal first. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirsten, Leah, and Isaac Areola are in the hospital right now, bringing baby Ethan into our world. This is the very first portal baby. Isaac and Kirsten met on the show, and they got together from different parts of the country, and they've come together, and they're now expecting their first child, which may be out there watching right now. I'm just saying, he could be seeing his first episode. The first portal baby is being born right now. So congratulations to Isaac and Kirsten. Sending our love and prayers, and just know that our hearts are there with you, and we're so excited to meet little Ethan, the portal baby. I'll be Uncle Brent. I love it. So congratulations. I don't know if Isaac is in here. I imagine they're a little busy right now. But she is giving birth as we speak, folks. So I'm just so happy and excited, and just sending lots of loves Yeah, I do. You're right, Barbara. I'm talking about that. That I'm gonna have to make the first Paranormal Portal onesie for an infant. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. I just can't wait. So I actually have a neighbor that does printing like that. So I'm gonna go talk to her and see if she can put one together for me, because that would be so cool. But yeah, that's the really, really cool thing. I haven't heard anything yet. I don't know. I've been keeping tabs on Facebook when they post, and she's been induced. She's dilating. She's full steam ahead, folks. It won't be long, and baby Ethan will be here if he's not here already. So I'm just so tickled, because it was like the first baby born from the union that was formed right here in the Paranormal Portal. It just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. So baby Ethan is being born right now, and I'll stand. Once I get any information, I'll be sure to share it on my Facebook. So follow me on Facebook if you're looking for updates. Hi, Deb. He's here. Little Ethan, the portal baby, is here. Woo! Aww. Yeah, he's here. According to Deb Varner over on Facebook chat, baby Ethan is here. So congratulations, Isaac and Kirsten. We love you guys. It's so wonderful. I can't wait to see pictures. Shane is looking the email. I haven't seen him yet. Maybe I should try again. Maybe I should try another one. I don't know what happened. It's let's see. Shane, boom. Let me try again. Link, and repaste it again, and send. All right, I sent again. I sent it to your 45 at gmail.com. So I don't know if that's getting to you, Shane, but it should be there. So anyway, hopefully he'll be along shortly. I have not seen him pop up just yet. It's a little boy. The little boy is named Ethan. They knew the gender before he was born. So he's here, baby Ethan. Congratulations. That's really cool. So that's the first huge news. You heard it at the same time I heard it. He's here. That's wonderful. Wow, that's so cool. Very, very cool. Wonderful people. Isaac and Kirsten are just amazing. And I don't know, it's cool. All right, anyway, I'll quit going on and on about it, but it's just cool to be an uncle again. So let's get to the news, ladies and gentlemen. Throughout the show, we utilize a lot of different websites with amazing information on them, and these websites are incredible. They are so well done. They are so well maintained. It's all relevant and very, very professional sites. So please support these sites. Please visit them. Give them your love. They are putting out some of the greatest information I've ever found on the paranormal and weird subjects that we love. So please visit them. Give them your attention. Give them your time. Give them your love. What? Call you Unca? Now we get to call you Unca Brent. You can call me Unca Brent. Yep. So remember, 2 days after the minion was born, Ethan joined the world. My little boy's birthday was the 14th, and now on July 16th, baby Ethan. So I should be able to actually remember that one because I have created an association. All right. Yes, it is on. The Ghost Radar is on, but it's not appearing on screen. Not sure why. Let's see. No, it's just being a pain in my arse. I don't know. Let me see if I can add it here quick. Sorry. Well, I'm going to do a display capture here. New Ghost Radar. See what's going on. I don't know why it's not showing up on this screen. I just got an update and it's creating a bit of a problem. So capture method. What the hell? Select the display. Let's do this. Which one is the one? That's the Dell. Okay. All right. We can do this. Click OK. Then I can crop it down and whoops, not like that. I'll make it like this. See all the magic that goes on the fly here on the Paranormal Portal. But that's just how we rock. This is how the magic happens, folks, right here. Boom. All right. So I'll drag this down here, and we got the Ghost Radar. I'll make it a little smaller, though. But it is on. The Ghost Radar is on and working. I did remember that part. Address not found. What do you mean address not found? I pulled it right out of my... Oh, maybe that was the first one. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Weird. Yeah, I sent it to Shane's email, but it's... I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe I'll send it through... maybe I'll send it through Facebook here. Hold on. Sorry, folks. I just got to get this done. Oh, there he is. Oh, my God. Baby Ethan, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to put him up on screen for us to see. I got a picture right here from Facebook. They've posted it, and I couldn't be happier. Come on. I'm trying to resize this window, and it's being really, really funky. My arrows are being funky. There we go, folks. I'm going to put it up on screen for you right now so you can see it. It's baby Ethan, folks. And the first portal baby. There's Isaac and Kirsten and baby Ethan. Aww. Yay. There he is. Baby Ethan's in the house. There you go. All right, let me do this again. I was going to send it through Facebook. Why in the hell? Oh, I actually dragged it over here. Sorry about that. I have to use this to message Mr. Grove. Right here, Shane Grove. There he is. I'm sending it through Facebook, Shane. Trying to keep up with you. You and your technology. There we go. All right, I sent it through Facebook, Shane. It's in Messenger there. I hope you see it, find it, and join us. Join us. If you only knew the power of the dark side. All right, welcome to the news again. Remember, he made the ultimate journey through the portal, all right? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's adorable, isn't he? He's a cute baby. Wonderful people. And it's really amazing. So the first article we're going to cover tonight is coming from an amazing site that we've utilized a lot here on the show. And this is unexplained-mysteries.com. This one's been everywhere. You've probably heard this a bunch already, but it's a matter of news, and figured something we should discuss here. And that is the untimely passing of Dan Rivera, a paranormal investigator who was helping to escort Annabelle the Haunted Doll around the country. And apparently they were over in Gettysburg area, and he had a heart attack and died. So here we go. Let's check this out. Excuse me, I got a cough. Dan Rivera dies suddenly while on Annabelle Haunted Doll tour. And he was a young guy. I'm actually older than him, so that's kind of scary. Just boom. The 54-year-old paranormal investigator died while on his sold-out Devils on the Run tour. A well-known figure in paranormal circles, Rivera had previously appeared on the Travel Channel's Most Haunted Places and served as producer for Netflix 28 Days Haunted. His most recent role had been with the Devils on the Run tour that saw him, along with other members of the New England Society for Psychic Research, or NESPR, travel around the United States with Annabelle, the infamous haunted doll that inspired some of the Conjuring movies. He had just finished a 3-day sellout stop, I guess it was sold-out stop, in Gettysburg, when he was found unresponsive in his hotel room, prompting a call to the emergency services. Despite the best efforts of paramedics, they were unable to revive him. According to the coroner's office, his death did not appear to be suspicious, although right now it remains unclear exactly what happened. His close association with the Annabelle doll has since prompted a great deal of speculation over whether this might have had something to do with it. The doll itself had been a magnet for paranormal activity since the 70s, when Ed and Lorraine Warren claimed to have witnessed it physically moving. It's now been associated with disturbing and malicious behavior. In reality,
does not appear to be suspicious.
There's an echo. That's my voice, Mr. Shane. Welcome. Let me finish this article quick. One more sentence. In reality, however, it's extremely unlikely that the doll had anything to do with Rivera's death. That is not the doll, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll, as many of you know. But let me welcome to the show my co-host. Let me get it here. There he is, Mr. Shane Groves, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, brother. Can you hear me? Shane?
That is not the dog.
He's got some really big leg. Shane?
Let me welcome to the show, my co-host.
Look at him. He's just hearing the applause
There he
right
is,
now.
Mr. Shane Groves, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you there?
Let's see.
This is real-time troubleshooting, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the portal.
Hold on here. I cannot hear you through the Zoom, but I can hear you through my phone.
Yikes. That's just how it works sometimes. Look at your sound settings and
That's great.
yeah. And check it out. Check it out.
I am here, but I cannot hear. I can't. That's right.
He's somewhere in the past right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at a real life time anomaly as it works. This is a time anomaly.
Look at your sound settings. And you see it's great.
He's just getting my troubleshooting advice now.
I am here, but I cannot hear.
He's listening to the YouTube feed. So he's got about a 6 or 8 second delay or better.
Past right now, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at a real life time anomaly. It's a time anomaly.
All right. Well, we'll just keep plugging forward. Hopefully Shane can finally hear us. Shane, when you hear us, then jump in, okay? You'll get that eventually. Something happened.
He's listening to the YouTube feed.
It's plenty loud now.
He's got about a 6 or 8 second delay.
You're really loud. There it goes. It got better now. All right. Well, we'll just keep plugging away, folks. So this is Annabelle. There's actually a video here from News Nation. I don't think we need to look at the video, but if anybody's interested in this, I will copy it and paste it in the chats. You guys can check it out at your leisure, and we'll go from there. And we'll get to the next one because that's how we roll. All right. So the links are
I'm
in there.
loud.
You're loud. Yes.
All right, well, we'll just keep plugging away, folks. So this is Annabelle. There's actually a video here. For
This is
I don't think
Shane. Can you mute your mic, please, when you hear this?
if anybody's interested in
And then when you hear me through your Zoom, then unmute.
chats, you guys can check it out at your
There we go.
and
Oh, almost. All right. We'll just keep going. I'll do my best to be professional here and try to ignore it as best I can. All right. That was the first one. And we got more. So let's get to that right now. All right. Number 1, down. Next one. This one's kind of interesting because there is man-made climate change according to some people. Other people say, nah, there's no such thing. But here's a brand new take that you might not have heard before. I was today old when I heard this one as far as man-made climate change. Well, this is on a global scale, apparently, so let's check it out. From unexplained-mysteries.com comes the next article. Human-made dams have shifted the position of the Earth's poles. They're blaming dams. Dams. Those damn dams are, damn it, changing the poles, apparently. I don't think so. I don't know where their logic is coming. I guess it's impeding motion of water, which creates a drag on the crust, is what I'm theorizing, but I don't know how they're going to play this. Let's see what it says. All right, here we go. Human-made dams. All right, what are they doing? What are we doing wrong now? Dams constructed around the world in the last 2 centuries have had an impact on the planet's poles. Is this really long? No, it's not. While it is clear that human activities have had a significant impact on the Earth, especially over the last 200 years or so, few could have anticipated that our actions could have changed the location of the planet's poles by a measurable amount within such a relatively short space of time. Sure enough, new research has revealed that the construction of these huge structures around the world has shifted the position of the Earth's poles by over 1 meter. I guess there's that. All right. Can you hear us now, Shane?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, God bless you. All right. Well, now you're officially with us. That was an interesting broadcasting experiment, but I'm glad it worked out.
Well, for some reason, my AirPods were not working,
Okay.
Of course, I have a big, set of headphones here, so,
I swear by them. I use them. So we're just learning about dams changing the pole's position by well over a meter over the last 200 years. Let's see. It says this same activity has caused global sea levels to drop by around 0.83 inches. The reason this happens is because dams, which hold back enormous amounts of water, effectively redistribute some of the Earth's mass of the Earth's surface, causing a slight wobble in the outermost layer of rock. This results in the poles passing through different surface locations, a phenomenon known as true polar wander. They even got a new name for it, Shane. True polar wander.
Are these some of the most bored people on the face of the earth keeping track of this?
I know. It'd be like watching mold spores grow or something, right?
Look, you wouldn't even be able to, like, from the time you took over this study to the time that you got done 40 years later, would you even know that anything happened?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. And the curious thing is what's occurring to me as I'm reading this, and we'll continue to read more, but how do they know for sure what it did before they were paying attention versus now? You know what I mean?
Well, I think they could tell water levels based on the rock layers and where they, that sort of thing. But how do they know it's because of dams?
That's my point. Yeah, I mean it's like really. So they're saying that these dams redistributing so much weight all over has created a slight wobble in the outer crust. Compared to what though? Because I'm sure they didn't know that was a slight wobble until more recently. You know what I mean?
I mean, did the slight wobble actually take place because of the advent of fast food? And we just got a little bit bigger and tilted us on axis a little bit.
There's clearly more mass now than there was.
That's just crazy. I can't even comprehend that people are studying this. And so what is exactly the effect then?
It caused the poles to shift 1 meter over the last 200 years is what they're saying. 1 meter, like 3 point whatever feet.
All right.
So we got that going for us.
All right. Well, in my lifetime, then maybe we'll get another 3 inches.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So hang on to your seats, folks. We're cruising. And he said the reason that this happened, I already read that. This results in the poles passing through a different surface locations, a phenomenon known as true polar wander. As we trap water behind dams, not only does it remove water from the oceans, thus leading to a global sea level fall, and Sharon Sunshine said, but they said they're rising. Exactly. Yeah, they said wrong. It also redistributes mass around the world, said Harvard University graduate student Natasha Valenchik. While these effects don't seem particularly significant, the change in sea level due to the construction of dams is an important factor to consider when calculating potential future sea level rise of 0.83 inches, apparently. Like if they released it all, I guess it would go up 0.83 inches, right? The hell, you say? The horror if they unleash that. Okay, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done with this one. Any closing thoughts on this one, Shane?
Look, I have no idea the correlation between that. It's obvious if you vacation in places along the beach that the beach is losing. I've gone places where rows of houses, like at the Outer Banks, have at least 2 rows of houses in some spots have been washed away. Is that because of dams?
Those damn dams.
I just, I don't know. I just think maybe I don't even want to speculate. This isn't even in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Water. I mean, I can drink water.
Yes.
That's about all I can do.
Yep.
And
I can pass water. I pass it good.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
exactly.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's creating. There seems to be a real trend in the sciences that they create fear a lot. Like, well, you got to quit using plastic straws because seals are getting them stuck in their nostrils or something. I mean, it's just something that we're doing something horrible, and we need to revamp our entire civilization around it. Now, I am a firm believer that we've brutalized our world in a lot of ways. You can't just go walk around and drink from streams anymore, whereas at one time you could have. And there's a lot of change.
Industrialized man screwed a lot of stuff up.
Yeah.
For sure. But if you've ever seen the ginormous floating island of garbage out in the Pacific,
yeah.
That's kind of
that's a little more concerning. Yeah.
That makes me not want to use straws. I got to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. And plastic garbage bags. Yeah. No, I'm with you there. But there you have it. I don't know, but I was today old when I heard this theory, and I'm really not on board. And I'm not a scientist. If you know more about this than me and you're concerned, then you probably know more than me. But from my perspective, it's like a whole foot, or a whole 3 meters, or 1 meter.
Seems like we have plenty of time to plan ahead for the ramifications. Just saying.
Just get a go bag ready. And sleeping bag, and you might be okay. Just be careful out there, folks. It's a strange world. So let's go to the next one. This one's kind of interesting. This one's going to be the last one for tonight, but I had heard of this before, and I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Some people have speculated. I have not read the article, but I'm going from what I've heard so far. Some people have speculated that perhaps this is an evolution of sorts. And an attempted introduction of sorts with us from another terrestrial species. What am I talking about? I'm talking about killer whales, folks. From unexplained-mysteries.com, killer whales keep offering food to humans.
I saw that.
Nobody knows why. Interesting, huh?
Well, when we hunt other animals, we sometimes put out grain piles for the deer and other stuff. So, I mean, if you're going to fall for a killer whale offering you a cheeseburger, you get what you get. You deserve it.
Yep.
You got to be honest.
Yep. Even the mouse knows the cheese isn't free.
Yes. I mean, come on. Who's falling for this? I mean, there's no denying that killer whales, dolphins, those creatures, just whales in general, are super intelligent creatures.
Yes,
probably way beyond even what we can imagine that they are.
Yeah.
And if you were to tell me that the killer whales had figured out, hey, look, these people like pizza, or these people like whatever, a candy bar, like a baby, I can get them over the side of their boat to where it's easier for me to grab them and eat them.
Yeah, that's.
I'm all in on that. I think that's more of a possibility than them being sent here by extraterrestrials.
Probably. Let's see what the article says, though. I'm kind of curious what they're going to say about this. Wild orcas have been documented on multiple occasions making offerings of food to humans. And it's not unusual for domestic animals such as a cat to offer you a mouse or a bird that it has caught, but this is perhaps the last thing you'd expect from a wild killer whale to be doing. Nonetheless, researchers have documented over 30 cases of killer whales offering fish, rays, or squid to humans who are either on boats, standing on the shore, or swimming in the ocean. These incidents, which date back up to 20 years, have been collated by researchers from Canada, New Zealand, and Mexico in an effort to better understand this behavior. Remarkably, in some cases, the orcas attempted to present food more than once after their intended recipient did not appear to accept the offering. Orcas often share food with each other. It's a pro-social activity, and a way that they build relationships with each other, said study lead author Jared Towers, that they're also sharing with humans may show their interest in relating to us as well. Orcas are particularly social animals, so it makes sense this type of behavior might be part of an effort to build relationships, both with each other and with humans. Offering items to humans could simultaneously include opportunities for killer whales to practice learned cultural behavior, explore or play, and in so doing, learn about, manipulate, or develop relationships with us, the researchers wrote. Given the advanced cognitive abilities and social cooperative nature of the species, we assume that any and all of these explanations for and outcomes of such behavior are possible. Or, I don't know, maybe there's a sea urchin on the sandwich that you don't know and you bite it, and it's just a big practical joke, you know? I don't know.
So I might have missed this part. Are these activities taking place in captivity?
No,
Okay.
in the oceans.
So this is just wide open ocean.
Yeah.
Some orcas
Yep.
killer whales coming up and saying, "Hey,
Have a
can I
squid.
interest you in a sardine or something?"
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little crazy. I gotta admit. I mean, I could see them. The behavior they are describing is something that those animals would see, like at SeaWorld or somewhere else where were getting trained,
Yeah.
and they may be mimicking what they're seeing. But listen, I gotta be honest, I would not be fascinated
Yeah.
in the wide open ocean to have a great or a killer whale offering me
Yeah.
a turkey leg or something. I just gotta be honest.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Unknown says, yeah, I've always wondered why that thing snapped on my fingers when I wanted some cheese. It'll do it. You got to be careful. There's no free
Well,
lunches.
at least it didn't hit his nose.
That's
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
Yeah, good thing to go in with your
you-
fingers. Go in with the fingers always. Yeah, they are often awesome. David Barnes, orcas and dolphins are amazing creatures. Yeah, along with the octopus. Yeah, octopus are actually incredibly intelligent as well. So I don't know what's going on here, folks, but maybe they're trying to bridge the gap, and I don't know what that means, though. I mean, we don't speak orca or anything. I did
Maybe
see
they're
something else.
maybe they're trying to give us the real scoop on the oceans rising, and we're just not paying attention. We're just thinking it's
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, they noticed it's about an inch down from 200 years ago, and so they're trying food offerings to see if we'll boost it back up.
Can you guys help us out here?
So we're noticing some polar shifting going on here, as well as we're losing a little bit of ocean. So what's going on up there? Here's a sandwich. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. You know what else I heard today, though, Shane?
I can only imagine.
Exactly. I couldn't even imagine this, except I heard it. And that is that the researchers, primatologists, are noticing that chimpanzees seem to be developing a robust verbal language now, where they're noticing patterns and almost phonemes or parts of words being developed and repeated in relation to things, like they're developing a language. What do you think of that?
Are we headed for the Planet of the Apes? And we just.
Yeah, right?
I mean, well, again, those animals are in situations where they're around people.
Yes.
And people are talking, and we've taught them sign language,
Sure.
right? I mean, I can't even imagine like the sign language part. Like
Right.
to me, that sign language would be harder than teaching
Words.
something to verbal. Yeah, something
Yeah.
to somebody to verb. So
Crazy.
I don't know. Look, thank God I'm on the back end of whatever time I got,
Yeah.
because I'm not going to see some of this. I'm not going to.
But isn't it kind of
some of this
interesting?
stuff.
Isn't it kind of
Yeah.
interesting? I mean,
Yeah,
what if you could sit down and have a coffee with a chimp and just Trade thoughts.
I gotta be honest with you. I could go through my contacts and probably replace half of them with said chimp. It might be more lightnings.
That's true. That's probably true. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's pretty fascinating stuff. I mean, are animals changing before our eyes? Hell, I don't know. It's like you said, it's out of my pay grade too. So it's fascinating.
Is that evolution?
Well, that's what they're suggesting with the chimps, is that it seems to be almost like we're witnessing evolution at work. And hell, I don't know. They've been chimps for millions of years, so it's like, what happened?
They've been chimps. It's about time they picked up something else. What have they been doing?
Yeah.
They see, like, they got so far ahead of everybody else, and now, the whales are bringing dinner, and they're like, okay, we got to step it up a little bit. Let's start talking.
The whales are making us look stupid, boys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's okay. They caught up. Let's pick it up a little bit. We got some another gap to make.
Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy stuff, folks. But whatever's going on in the world, hell, I guess we're along for the ride for as long as the ride lasts anyway. But there you go. This has been a presentation of the news. I think that's where we're going to stop that. Actually, that's the last article I had pulled up anyway, so perfect timing. All right, let's get back to the rest of the show and find out what the hell else is going on here, folks. Let's take it back away. Well, Shane, you're here for the article that I've been working on for the past several shows, and this is a thought catalog article we've been going through, and I'm on number 24 of 30, so I think we're going to polish it off tonight and finish it. But this is a cool article. It's 30 spooky paranormal stories from former military personnel.
The best.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah.
They are the best in my book. Law enforcement and military people sharing their stories are just some of the best.
Have you caught Tales from the Grid Square, Nick Orton's show?
No, I have not, but I know of it.
Okay.
But I have not caught it.
Okay.
No. I can barely keep up with Paranormal Portal live events. What are you talking? I'm always supposed to keep up with everything else.
I know. I understand, but it's a really good show. He does interview a lot of people. It's not really a show as much as it's a presentation of information, but he does it in the form of pictures and slides and stuff, and they're fascinating stories that these service members have experienced. Some are absolutely horrifying, and others are like really bizarre, but some great information. He's doing a hell of a job. So definitely, ladies and gentlemen, check out Nick Orton's show, Tales from the Grid Square. You can find it on Instagram. And this is coming from Thought Catalog, as I mentioned. It was written by January Nelson from 2018, October of 2018, as a matter of fact. So, thank you, Linda. You remembered. Linda remembered. God bless you. Appreciate it. I love listening to Brent Thomas. Thank you, Jason Finch. I appreciate that, brother. All right.
Hey, he said I love listening to Shane Grove too. You got to just skip over that part.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
Hey, I do want to apologize that I'm not keeping up with everybody saying stuff this week because Nita was not made aware at the last minute I was going to call in. So she's probably in bed. So.
Oh, did you message her?
No,
okay.
I didn't. Come on, I make a couple women mad every day. I don't need to make another. You know what I'm saying?
I got a life to live, Shane. Damn it. Yeah, exactly, I hear you.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we're on number 24 of this article, and let's read this one. It's a little longer, not too bad though. And this one's supernaturally. I can only think of what was rumored to be some haunted living quarters at Duke Airfield, an adjacent site to Eglin Air Force Base down in West Florida, and spending some time there on sweet detachment to the Air Force security during early Iraq War. was coming out of the bathroom in that living quarters on break. I don't even say latrine anymore. Well, it's been a long time. And I saw this young woman that just looked like she was tired and disgruntled at something. And the look on her face, the way her hair was a little bedraggled, the wrinkles on her clothing. I saw her go left the same way I was going to head outside. I turned the corner. I didn't see her. I went outside, didn't see her. Couldn't have been 10 seconds behind her. Well, I asked my Air Force counterparts in the patroller outside out of curiosity if he saw a tired-looking female come out before me, and he said no. That's my ghost radar. Just had a couple ghost apparitions, maybe. So keep an eye on the studio. Keep me in your prayers. So he had never seen anybody come out. Admittedly, we weren't on the clock. We were parked in the living quarters parking lot. So my counterpart probably had his nose in something like his logbook or just in the radio to not have seen her. Still, that was one fast mover to leave the outside exit area before I could get my eyes on her again. And to this day, there's just a little bit of wonder left over that she actually was a ghost and that she vanished around the corner. I can't even recall hearing the front door open and close either. Distance, probably. Well, that's kind of wild. Apparition. You ever seen an apparition, Shane?
Yeah, yes.
I thought so. When
Yes.
I interviewed you, I thought you mentioned that you had, yeah?
I probably told you the story about in the post office coming back from the mail route. Did I tell you that one?
I don't think so. Go ahead. Fill us in.
Oh boy. So for those who don't know, that my day job is I'm a mailman. And God, this has probably been 10, 15 years ago. It was a Saturday. I was coming back. I was the last one coming back in because I'm slow and old. And so I remember I walked in there, double doors off our back entryway, and the truck driver, the guy taking the mail from our office up to Cleveland, passed me. And at this time, the desk that the supervisor sat in, her desk was in the middle of it's a big room, or the mail room where all the routes put their mail up and stuff. So her desk was in the middle of the room, and she was sitting at the desk, and there was a girl standing at the corner of her desk looking at me. Now, I knew this supervisor had a young daughter, okay? I had never met her at this point. I had met the daughter at this point, but I knew she had a young daughter. So this girl looked at me as I walk in, and I look at her, and she smiles and nods her head, and I acknowledge her. And I go around the corner, around the room, over to my case, and I start putting my mail away. And I kind of lean back out, and I say to Ellie was her name. I said, Ellie, what happened to your daughter? And she goes, what are you talking about? And I said, your daughter. And she goes, no, you're thinking about the night before. Now, the night before, when I had got in another carrier's, 2 daughters were running around in the post office, a little behind the curtains. Some people bring their kids in and they run around. And I said, and of course, I knew I was not thinking about it. And I said, no. I said, Ellie, there was a girl standing right there at the corner of your desk. Now, keep in mind, she's sitting at the desk. So at the corner of her desk is about 1.5 feet away. And I said, no, there was a girl standing right there. I nodded to her, and she smiled at me. And her face went, boom, totally white.
Ooh.
And I just said, well, there's nobody here? And she goes, no, there's nobody else here but me and you now. And I said, okay. And just went back to, and so that is an instance which led me then to ask questions to psychic mediums, when I have the opportunity to have them on the show, is if I had not asked her, if I just put my stuff and walked away, left and went home, I'd have thought it was her daughter, even though by the time I met her daughter, it was obvious that they weren't the same. It wasn't the same person. Okay, but if this moment hadn't stood out because of what happened, I would have not remembered what that girl looked like. You follow what I'm saying? It would have been just a passing.
Yeah.
So it led me to ask, psychic, some psychic mediums we've had on. I said, how many times are you in a place, like around here is a big amusement park, Cedar Point, or on campus at Ohio State, or somewhere where there's a lot of people. So how many times are you at a place where there's people there that appear as people that aren't really there, and these psychic mediums who every day they're seeing ghosts, places, she said it's all the time. She goes, if you really knew, it would probably freak you out.
Yeah.
and it would probably. I mean, it didn't freak me out that I wasn't scared or anything. It was just okay, that's not really a girl, and it must be a ghost, and she was gone. Now there's always stories. People, the clerks and stuff who were there in the morning would always talk about things that would happen. They would get there 3 or 4 in the morning to start throwing mail, and they would hear noises. They would hear people talking in the lobby, which could happen, but they would go look, and just like the guy from the story, you'd get around the corner and
Nobody's there.
There's nobody there. There's nobody there.
Yeah.
And so did the person rush out, or or they would hear a little girl talk at 3 or 4 in the morning in the lobby of the post office. Well, I mean, I might send my kid to get cigarettes at 4 in the morning, but I'm not sending him to take the mail.
No. No.
So there you go. Yeah, I would have told, if I had never asked, I would have just thought it was a real person, looked like a real person, interacted with me
right.
as any person or kid would have done, and that I wouldn't have known that I'd seen something that wasn't really there. So
that's what else is fascinating is the fact
Sandrin.
that this is Sandrin. I don't even know what Sandrin is. Sandrine. Somebody
what's
want to look?
Sandrin?
No idea, but that's what the ghost box said. And sometimes generates words. What's fascinating to me is the fact that for you, it was as real as the woman sitting there doing her job. Like it was that tangible, that present. But for her sitting there, she had no idea anything was even around. So I try to reconcile that and try to understand how is that possible that you saw something that was very physically present and there in 3D space, but the only other person there didn't even have a clue. So what is that?
I have, and she was someone who was open to the idea of ghosts and stuff like that. She came from a very a family of writers. People that wrote poetry and had published books. The supervisor, and how we all end up at the post office is beyond me. But anyway, good benefits. But so she was open to it, and so I don't know that just being open to it all the time means that you're gonna see something. I mean, in that moment, she was engrossed in her work.
Yeah.
Trying to get everything closed up at the post office. I'm not really engrossed in my work at the post office, and I'm just walking in like I'm done. It's Saturday. I got a couple days off now.
Yeah.
So maybe I was just in the right mind or headspace for it, and who knows? But I have zero explanation for it. I mean, I've never felt weird in the post office, other than that they really pay me that much money for doing that job. But I mean, I don't feel creepy. You don't feel
right.
And it's a big build. Like our building was built in the 30s. It was a bomb shelter during World War II.
Oh.
It was one of those great big stone. And the thing is catty corner from us. So right across the street's a funeral home. Okay. I mean, literally, right across the street. And catty corner from us is one of the original hospitals in the town in Bucyrus. And I mean, it's been long since been torn down, but it made me often wonder. Like, I do not know what was on the space, on the property before building was built. Maybe nothing.
Right.
But you just wonder, like, is the spirit from one of those places kind of wander over and just be like, this is a nice building. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's very cool, though. That's a pretty intense one, brother. No, I don't think you've ever shared that with me, so I appreciate it, though.
There's an exclusive to the live.
Yep. Today we just had our first Paranormal Portal baby born. That was.
I know. Congratulations to what kind of lives are you running? I mean, these must really be live if you've got people like getting together and having
cool.
babies.
Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, they met on the show and have since brought their lives together, and now they had a baby as of today, July 16th. First Portal baby.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, I think the people that meet on our show or just get mad at each other and fight or something. But I mean, that's pretty amazing. Congratulations to the couple, and let's hope that baby survives the next 100 years of the dam crisis.
Yeah, the dams are up there, and they're raising hell. And Orca's bringing food. It might be the end of the world. I don't know, but
he's gonna be drinking coffee with a chimpanzee, and ordering pizza. Yeah, ordering pizza from the killer whale with the food cart in Times Square.
Only in the portal, brother. Only in the portal.
Yeah. Why not?
All right, well, here, let's get to the next one. Number 25 from Okinawa. There are places on the island that the local National Gate guards will not stand a post on during certain times of the day because dead Japanese soldiers during the war. There are also supposedly places where, again, dead Japanese soldiers will walk up and ask for a cigarette. Never saw it personally, but you never know. You just never kick that habit, Shane. It's just always with you.
That's something. I mean, now I have no idea. I've never smoked a cigarette or anything, but I mean, obviously, it's something that brings comfort to people.
Yeah.
Whether it's real comfort or not, but obviously, if you were tragically lost your life, maybe cigarettes what you need.
It's not like it's gonna kill you. Whoa! Thank you. Thank you to Josh Casto, gifting 5 memberships. So who got them? Let's check it out. Forest Friend got one. Congratulations. Dante X got one. H. Christian got one. Spirit Stalker 55 got a membership. And Steel City Stacker, you got another one. This is your second one, isn't it? Congratulations to all of you. And special thanks to Josh Casto for gifting 5 Portal memberships. God bless you. Thank you,
what the heck is like your Monty Hall here?
I tell you what.
Like Chuck Woolery and Monty Hall, like people like giving gifts and having babies and stuff. Well, we gotta.
It's
like,
amazing.
are we gonna cure cancer next? I mean, come on.
Well, we're working on it. Actually, in the Portal lab in the next room. No, we're not oncologists, but by God, there's some wonderful people here, Shane. I'm just here to say.
I can't argue that. They all seem like wonderful people. Did I see that they said what the meaning of
Sandrin?
Sandrin?
Yeah, it was like protector of mankind, defender of mankind, protector of men. That's pretty cool.
Wow. So he's in your studio?
Well, I don't know.
Or are they proclaiming that you are the protector of mankind?
They're scraping the bucket on this one, Shane, if that's the case. No, I don't know. I have no idea what the underlying meaning of it is, but there you go.
I say accept the compliment and run with it.
I am the protector of mankind, Shane. My cover's blown. It's true. I am. Shane, come on. Look at the screen, Shane. It'll come in about 5 seconds.
Well, I gotta watch the. So I'm watching the tape. I can't see you on the Zoom, right?
I know, but I know you got the feed up on your phone, so it'll happen here in a second, and you'll see. Maybe that's why. It's coming. Depending on your feed.
I mean, all the super. Oh, there we go. There we go.
It's my Sandrin shirt.
See, now I think this is all planned now. Like, this is all just like.
I just realized. I realized right now. I was like, oh yeah, I'm wearing Superman. That's a protector of mankind. Maybe it is me. Maybe you're right, Shane. I like the way you work.
Hey, I just call it like I see it.
All right, we're going to go to number 26. When I was deployed, we worked out on this ancient dock from the Vietnam era, and I worked graveyard, so there was never any people there at night, except mission essential for any missions we were running. We'd randomly hear footsteps walking down the small hallway that was a dead end. Our door was the last one before the little bits that was the dead end. No one ever walked past our door, but there was always the footsteps. One night one night there were wet footprints down there, and it wasn't even raining outside. Ooh. Some little water spirits coming and going, huh? I don't know.
I can't even get a mental picture of what this person's describing as the dock. So they worked out on the dock?
Must be like a Navy dock or something like that where ships are moored. And
they have like, quarters out on the dock?
Probably controlled access,
Huh.
I don't know. That's what I was envisioning, like some kind of controlled access to the dock because, it's military and all, but I don't know. But yeah, apparently wet footsteps. That's always weird.
Yeah, you can't deny that existence.
Yeah, I wish they would have got pictures though. I mean, that's the one thing. If I saw wet footsteps when there was no way there should be wet footsteps, I'd be taking photos. I would definitely be taking photos. All right, number 27. I saw a UFO when I was in basic training at Fort Leonard Wood. I was walking from one building to another to start my firewatch shift when I noticed something as bright as a star make a zigzagging pattern at impossible speeds and then disappear over the horizon. I'd never been more clear-headed and sober in my life, so I'm sure I saw something. Seems like there's a lot more of that now than ever before, doesn't there? Or is it just me?
I think it's just the fact that people are more comfortable speaking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've talked to numerous military people. I've talked to numerous military people, and almost all of them, when you ask them off the air, okay, so there's a Bigfoot out there on the base, or there's, whatever other creature out there on the base. Why didn't you guys do something about it? And they're all like, look, our commanding officers do not care that there's a Bigfoot out on the base. We have something that we're set to do. Mm-hmm. We have orders given to complete a task, and going out and shooting a Bigfoot is not in those orders.
Right.
Or chasing after a UFO is not part of the exercise.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people over the years in the military were of the mindset of, all right, we're not saying anything. Our commanding officer does not care. Yeah. And they kind of let it be known if you did talk about it, you were not going to get promoted.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And if that was going to be your career, why would you risk your career because you thought, you saw some lights that you didn't know what they were?
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
And now I just think that, I gotta be honest, I think that they're probably more frightened of the people coming out and saying, I turned this in and was ignored.
Yeah.
And that there's ramifications maybe for that more than there is for actually speak the truth, for ignoring it. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it's really bizarre though. I know it's interesting you say that, because when I was talking to Nick Orton, who is active duty himself, that does the Tales from the Grid Square, but he was talking about a bunch of stories that come from Afghanistan. I'm like, well, why didn't more people investigate that stuff over there? He's like, look, you're on a mission. You have a job to do. And even if you see something like a giant standing in a cave up on a cliff, which was one of the things he talked about privately with me, it's like you can't just detach from what you're supposed to be doing to go investigate this other thing. Even as amazing as that is, It was mission critical that they stayed on task, and they were just drilled into them. You do what your job is, and that's it. So no matter what they saw, they couldn't just randomly go and investigate strangeness.
Well, and it's not like it's your tank.
Yeah.
Where, I'm going to take my tank over to the cave and go after the giant.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to take my bazooka
Yeah.
over there. It's not your stuff
Yeah.
to go do that with. And the minute that you're right, it's critical that if you leave a post or leave an exercise or leave whatever it is you're doing, and somebody gets killed,
Yeah.
or something gets destroyed or compromised,
Yep.
they don't care there's a giant, because who's going to believe that there's a giant anyway? You know what I'm saying? And you better kill the giant. You
Yep.
better, So I just, I totally get that 100%. That there's a bigger picture, even as fascinating as what that as what it would be to go and discover something like that.
Yeah.
And my guest just last Friday, he had a lot of, was it last Friday or 2 Fridays ago? Gosh, they all run together. But he just came on and did a part 2 that's coming up. But he ended our first episode talking about he was active duty in Afghanistan during the Gulf War, and they had taken over the palace, Saddam Hussein's palace, and they were in a part of the palace. And he said this complex was so big that they bombed the middle of it and completely destroyed the middle, but the outside, so imagine in my mind, like the Pentagon.
Okay.
The middle of the Pentagon there's nothing there, but everything is, you can work on the outside. And he said that's kind of what they did. They destroyed the middle, and we're working. He said he and another gentleman with their unit were up, working on their laptops and stuff, where everybody else is asleep. And he said this huge entity came into the room, and he said it was huge, like 12, 13 feet, black, just floated into the room and stood there. And he kind of turned to are you seeing this, to the other dude? And the other guy's like, I am seeing this. But nobody else woke up, and there was nothing they could do.
Right.
They couldn't shoot at this. You can't just take off and start shooting at something, because they didn't feel it was like a human. They thought
Right.
it was just a ghost or something
Right.
paranormal. And but what do you do?
Yeah.
You don't go say, hey, Mr. Commanding Officer, we just saw this 12-foot black entity come into the room. What do you want us to do? And the guy they'd probably say, well, we're going to put you and Corporal Klinger together, and we're going to send you back to Toledo,
Yeah.
and you guys can have lunch at Tony Pop. So all the young people who don't get that reference, I feel sad. But yeah, I mean, you're going to think you're there to do this mission. You just secured the palace.
Yeah.
And you're in charge of this group of men. They don't want you. You don't want to give them any reason to think that you aren't capable
Right.
of,
Sure.
that you've lost your mind
Yeah.
or whatever, which is a shame.
It is.
But again, they're not there to check out ghosts.
Right.
They're there to liberate the city and get all the information they can about Saddam Hussein and stuff. And
Yep. Absolutely.
so imagine all the good stuff that has been missed
Oh, I know.
because people were very disciplined and followed orders.
Yeah, they did their job.
That's another reason why I should have joined the military. I'd have found all this stuff out, because I'm not good at following orders or very disciplined. So.
Amen, brother. Amen. There's a reason I never served. Not even fast food I didn't serve. So, number 28 used to be F-22 avionics for the U.S. Air Force. No shred at an undisclosed base. A light appeared above the flight line, moving in odd ways and hovering. We called it into our number one, and he called other AMUs to ensure there were no sorties being flown that we didn't know about. And shortly after, F-22s and 16s were scrambled and could not intercept the object. It disappeared into the night. We saw this go down from our flight line, and shortly after, we were informed that this never happened. There you go. Plausible deniability, right? This never happened.
Think about that being a pilot.
Yeah.
And, it's one thing to get sent to do a mission or exercise against something that you totally know and understand and have the specs on and, can comprehend. Imagine getting sent to something that your commanding officer won't even acknowledge exists.
Right.
Like, hey, go check out that light that didn't exist. But just to make sure, just go check that out.
Yeah, go check out that thing that we obviously know was not actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know either, brother.
But I mean, my hat's off to those guys that serve and do that stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
That because I think that probably happens quite a bit, where they're face to face with stuff.
Yeah.
That they can't explain, and nobody's going to admit that really exists, and you can't talk about it, but you still got to deal with it.
Yeah. Amen. Well, we're going to close that one. I was going to close it off, but the last story is exceptionally long, and we're already into the second hour, and we got to get to the what the hell is that, Shane?
This sounds just right up my alley.
It is kind of right up your alley because we look at video and picture evidence and try to weigh in on what the hell is that. So hopefully you like it, but if not, what the hell? You got what you paid for. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for what the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that indeed? Well, we're going to find out, ladies and gentlemen, as we go into the what's the hell is that files and dig up some opportunities. The first one is it's an excerpt. Actually, Matt Knapp posted it. I think it's from Monster Quest, but it's actually dealing with the Stacy Brown Sr. thermal footage, and it's one hell of a capture. I think it's one of the greatest captures ever in the history of Bigfoot research. You know what I'm talking about, right, Shane?
Are you talking about the thermal image?
Yeah, the footage that he and his Stacy Jr.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even though I'm on a tape delay, seeing it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're playing?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be playing right now. That's going to be our first
All right.
Our first piece of what the hell is that is going to be a clip from Monster Quest where they went over this footage and interviewed Stacy Brown. Matt Knapp of Bigfoot Crossroads just posted it today, and I thought, oh, that's good. This will be a good one to cover because I think this is one of the real gems that are out there, ladies and gentlemen, showing evidence that these are a very real phenomenon, very really out there. So let's check this out. Here we go from the What the Hell Is That files. Let me turn that off so it doesn't pop up next time I come back to the screen. There we go. Here it comes. The proof is out there. Let's have a listen.
Retired Army Ranger Stacy Brown Sr., now deceased, and his filmmaker son, Stacy Brown Jr., are camping in Torreya State Park on a search for the elusive Bigfoot. They start hearing some noises, so they pull out their FLIR thermal camera and head off down a trail.
We would hear something running on our right, and then we would hear something running on our left, and it stopped real quick. And then Dad looked up at up there at the tree, and he's like, oh, I see something.
The thermal camera is rolling as Stacy Sr. notices a little black object sticking out of one side of a tree.
Then it takes off and crosses this gap, and he goes into full-blown panic mode. The camera goes dead. He's like, we gotta go, we gotta go. He's like, do you got your gun?
Back at their truck, Stacy Jr. gets a first peek at this eye-popping footage, and this money shot.
I knew exactly what we had on camera. It was proof to me and my dad, because who on a Tuesday night is a mile and a half into the woods running around with no flashlight?
Maybe this isn't Monster Quest.
We first asked the most obvious question. Could this just be a person?
This is a newer show that's still out there. I can't
Yeah, it's
remember
not
what it's
Monster
called.
Quest.
What is? Do you remember what it's called?
It's called The Proof Is Out There.
That's the name of the show. Okay, the proof is
that's
out
the
there.
name of the show.
Yeah, it's an excellent show. I've watched it. There's some great analysis on this show, so please check it out, guys.
It was shot with a thermal imager, and so it's picking up the heat signature. Typically, if any clothing is being worn, it masks the intensity of the heat emanating from those covered parts of the body. Honestly, don't see any of that. It's just a pretty uniform signature that would suggest a body a la natural.
But why would a person be walking around nude in the woods? Wildlife biologist Stephanie Manka instead notes the way the figure moves seems more like a different animal that doesn't wear clothes.
It looks to be like a large primate, but it doesn't seem to match the body structure of the living apes, of chimpanzees or gorillas being the most prominent ones. It seems like its legs are too long, and when gorillas walk on their hind legs, they're not hunched over like that, they're more upright.
The way it comes out of the trees is what we call a groucho walk. It's very...
When you guys are seeing that go from tree to tree, pay attention to that arm length. That's the part that really blows me away, is how long is that trailing arm that's reaching behind still holding onto that tree as it goes across to the next tree. As a side note, Finding Bigfoot did do that, and they had Bobo stand in at that place and recreate that step. And in comparison, Bobo was tiny, and he's like 6'4". Bobo's not a small guy, he's huge. And when he was in comparison using the same thermal imager in the same location, he was tiny. He looked like a toddler in comparison to whatever this is. So it's fascinating, but let's continue.
Very typical of what witnesses say Bigfoot walks like, this strangely bent knee gait. It seems to be out of human proportions in the sense that you can't see a neck. It has very beefy looking arms. It has interesting legs that seem shorter than what you would see in humans.
It's May 2012 near the town of Quincy, Florida. Retired Army Ranger Stacy Brown Sr. now...
What I did want to capture was, if you also look at that trailing leg, how far it's flexing behind the actual creature is incredible. Like, we don't trail our legs back that far, still planted while we're planting a forward step. That is a hell of a stretch. And the flexion is almost 90 degree at the knee joint to the lower leg. So, I mean, it's just so many mechanics that are being demonstrated in that footage and proportions that put it way out of human range in my mind. Not only in size, but just how long the arms are, the fact that they are actively being used and stretching back. And if you watch Thinker Thunker again, you learn a lot about proportions. He did a great breakdown of primate proportions versus Homo sapien proportions and the differences therein. And it's pretty incredible how much difference there is between, like, Patty and, for instance, Bob Hieronymus, who claims he was in the suit. Very, very fascinating breakdowns. So check those out. But I still think that Stacy Brown's Sr.'s footage, and he and his son Stacy Jr., I think that still stands today as some of the best evidence out there. And any thoughts on this, Shane?
Well, I will say, first and foremost, I'm pretty tight with Stacy Brown. And I mean, while Stacy is a wild and crazy guy in many aspects, he is not a faker.
Right.
Okay? There is nothing about him that so that, I mean, that alone, okay, I have no question that him and his father caught what they, you know, what you're seeing, and it's something they don't know. Okay, Stacy has this real disdain for people who are out faking things, and he is one of the. Even though he, wants to find the truth about some stuff, man, he is very skeptical.
Right.
And he does, and there's a lot of stuff that even I am less skeptical of than he is. And, you know, so, and I think that happens when you have those kind of experiences. You really, you know, are putting stuff under the microscope. But the second thing is go and try to walk like that creature did, or that thing did.
Yep.
Like you said, bringing that back foot up. That is the most unnatural gait for a person. I mean, I have bad knees and stuff, and I can barely, like, my wife gets after me because, like, my foot will drag the ground. So the difference between your foot, like, kicking the ground and being 3 feet off of it is immense. It's immense. Like, you'd fall over or hurt yourself if you tried to, let alone in the dark at night.
Yeah.
And then just the size part of it, the upper body of whatever that is so disproportionate to, like, its shoulders and chest and arms, upper arms, are giant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And I don't think regular people walking around understand how big they see people, the guys in the NFL and the guys in the NBA, and they think, oh, those are pretty big guys.
Yeah.
No, those people are giant people. Okay. And when you take something like that, it dwarfs them. So, I mean, I played college football with guys that played in the NFL, guys that were basically not human. Okay, because you can't be human to. I mean, it's such a unbelievable skill set and physiology of what goes into making your body and your size. And if you've ever, I've been with guys that are 7 foot tall, and to sit there and think, oh my God, and I'm not a little guy either. Okay, so when I sit there and I'm like, God, 7 foot, and then you're looking at something that's 8 foot.
Yeah.
It's incomprehensible to think that something, and then those things are athletic.
Yes.
Those creatures are very athletic. On top of it, because just doing that in the dark, walking in the dark, and being unseen, sort of, that takes some skill, and But first and foremost, just knowing Stacy and his character. Now, of course, I could be proved wrong. The same with the dam theory. That Stacy's just been pulling my leg the whole time, but I don't at all believe that. So I think he, amongst all the evidence that I've seen over the years, that to me is one of the pieces that I would have to put in the top 10 of
Yep, I agree. And special thank you to Linda, donating a membership as well. Thank you. It looks like Phil Jones of Phantom Frequency got it. Welcome, Phil, and congratulations. You're now a gifted member for 1 month of the show. And special thanks to Linda for making that possible. Really appreciate it. Mr. Dave Scott of Spaced Out Radio. Shane, you got to meet Dave Scott sometime. You and Dave got to meet. Dave is a wonderful guy. He's the host and creator of Spaced Out Radio. Shane is the host and co-creator of From the Shadows podcast. Wonderful guy. Lots of experiences, Dave. You guys should talk. So,
anytime. I mean, look what I'm doing on a Wednesday night. I mean, I'm hanging out here.
Slumming it on the portal. I mean, come on.
Just trying to get in before it closes. Before the portal closes up.
No, we're always open here. Even when it's not live, it's still open for you. We got more. This one is more of a photo thing, and I thought this was kind of hilarious. It's more of a comical one, but it is interesting that they put a tracker on a shark, Shane, and they mapped his progress over the course of a time, and you won't believe the course that it took. So to show you what I mean, what the hell was that? Hold on. I didn't want to start that one. I started another one by accident underneath it, but here it is. So they put a tracker on a fish, a big shark, and they named the shark Breton. And says a shark named Breton seemingly drew a self-portrait with his tracking device. So if you look at the pathway, it's like it drew a shark the way that it swam around as it was wearing the tracking device. What do you make of that?
I'm waiting for the picture still hasn't come up.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, there you go.
I'm on super delay here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll let it come up. But somebody that commented on it called
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
They called it Vincent Van Gogh. Isn't that funny?
Wow. That is amazing.
Right.
Because
what are the odds it would actually swim out the outline of a shark?
I mean, talk about a Rorschach test. That is one right there. What do you see, Mr. Great White? Well, I see myself.
I see myself in everything. Yep. Even the way I swim and eat. There you go.
Ian, the best thing is how close to the shore.
Oh yeah, he goes
is
up into a bay there too. It looks like he goes up into a bay on the north side.
So you wonder if he did it on purpose. You wonder if he got together with a killer whale.
Maybe it was the whales that put him up to it. Actually, hey, put on this. You know what you got to do? Follow us. We're going to swim a pattern. See what they think. Yeah, they're just totally screwing with us. First it's Uber Eats, and now it's some pranks. They are evolving, Shane. They're all evolving. So there you go. I realize my chat's open here. So Mr. Dave Scott's message. There you go. So I thought that one was kind of fun. Is it paranormal? No, but it's interesting. Shark drew itself. That's kind of a good glimmer of self-awareness, right? Man, I tell you what, when I start sweating, my skin oils are really like pH-y, and when it gets in my eyes, they just start burning. Ugh, sorry about that, folks. I'm really not crying, although I am happy that Shane's here. It makes me emotional, but not this emotional.
Another bold-faced lie.
Oh, you know, I'm just trying them out, seeing how they work. Here's a UFO one. This one's from a site on Facebook called Officially Strange. And this is a brand new site to me. I'm not really familiar with it, but it popped up, and I was like, oh, cool. Let's check that out. Well, here we go. This one is some footage of maybe a UFO. It says craft speeds by affecting the cloud it passes. So it's not necessarily the main object you're going to see, guys, but this really is an interesting one. I don't know what to make of it. It could be a hoax, could be an AI hoax. I'm not saying that that's impossible, but if it's legitimate, it's a pretty fascinating capture. I'm going to play the footage now as soon as I put it on screen here. And let's have a look. Again, Officially Strange is the Facebook page, so go check them out. Give them some of your love as well. Here we go. So that's a plane, but look at that cloud, how it burst up there. Again, watch it again. Boom. When they break it down frame by frame, you kind of see that something happened. It's very subtle, but you're going to see it in just a second. The red circle, thank God for the red circles, because there it is. Boom. Something blew through that cloud, if that's legitimate, and it actually appears on a couple frames as it's going through. Superman? Did you see it?
I see a flash, right? That's what we're looking at.
It breaks it down even more. What you're seeing is that it actually poofs the cloud out, like it blows the cloud out.
Oh, okay.
Toward the left.
Okay, that's...
And then they actually break it down frame by frame, and you can see that it's apparently an object.
Oh, I see it coming from the right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well...
So what do you make of that one?
So does that usually happen to clouds?
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't think so. That's the part that would kind of be strange to me is I mean, clouds just kind of move out of your way, right? Or
Yeah, they
stick to you as you go through them. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not like something that you could displace.
Right. And the way that it kind of blows out the cloud, it is very suspect. I don't know that they do this for any other jets, but maybe it's just going so fast. I don't know. Does it have a big shock wave around it or something? But you're right. It's more than likely some kind of hoaxery.
I would imagine that somebody did take the video of something entering from the right and added the poof out of the cloud. That would be what I would.
Yeah.
Because that poof out of the cloud just does not. I've never seen anything.
Yeah.
Like that. And
right. I've never really seen something go so fast as that though either. And in all fairness, but I mean, it would have to be going through there like a bullet through a puff of smoke, which
would even that would lead me to believe that it would go through it even without displacing stuff if it was going so fast that it would just.
That's a good point though, because if it was really interacting with the air and stuff, that would be like a wall of force against the acceleration. If it's literally pushing molecules of air out of the way with that much speed, it's going to be a hell of a lot of friction and counter force on it to be going that fast, because that's faster than a bullet on that big of a screen. I don't know how big the field that we're looking at is, but I'd say that's probably that far away. It's probably about 1.5 miles or so, or 2 miles, guesstimating. Mm-hmm. But yeah. that's less than a second that it's clearing that speed or that distance. So I don't know. We'll watch it one more time. You're right though that it doesn't. If it's hoaxed, and it probably is. I wish there was background information on this.
Well, why doesn't it come out the other side?
Well, it goes in from one side, so I guess you can assume it's collapsing the cloud on one side and then emerging from it on the other side, pulling some of the cloud with it.
But we don't see it, right?
Right. True. It doesn't seem to disturb it on the way in. That's a good point.
But we don't see it exit the cloud.
Right.
After the poof.
Right. Well, you do. If you stop, I'm just looking at where it goes through.
Like they really do show the object, the dark object coming out?
Yeah, there's you'll have to wait a second, but that's the first image after it has exploded out of the cloud. And the poof comes after that, goes over to about here on the next frame. So that's a hell of a distance just from one frame to the next. Oops, I'm still going backwards. Oops. There's the first frame after it's come out of the cloud, and now the cloud will actually poof right there, but it's already out of the frame by that point.
Oh, so that so that is...
Yeah, it kind of comes right across here.
Okay, so I totally missed that.
Yeah. But you're right. I don't know that clouds behave like that. So
yeah, that's the part that I question how that cloud looks. I'm not question. I mean, I would say maybe there was something that went through there, but it still would make a cloud do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. I think you're right. I think that's a good take. So we're gonna go with Shane's assessment on this one, folks. I think cloud has.
Don't put any money on that. But,
well, no, I'm not betting man anyway, as it turns out. But you got to have money to bet first, and so. But it's an interesting take. I appreciate your thoughts on that. That's a good point. All right, and I got one more, and this one's more spoofy as well. It's just kind of obviously AI, but somebody's trying to peddle it as if something real's going on here. But you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
This isn't the Bigfoot and Batman one, is it?
No, nothing like that. This is much less comical and just as AI, though, I think. So they're saying location is Brazil in 2025, and it's said that this video was taken by a CCTV camera. I don't know who to credit this with. I wonder if I can see it back on the other page. It's coming from Dimension Breaker page on Facebook, and it's actually their video. It looks like they watermarked it. So let's check this out, folks. The Dimension Breaker footage. Is it a dinosaur in Brazil? Let's have a look at this AI gem. Here we go. Let me know when you're seeing it, Shane.
God, what's this? Okay. Oh, for goodness sake.
So I'm looking at the way the way it approaches is actually pretty well done, but the way that it turns and goes back into the water is obviously like it's on like gliding.
Yeah, like it's on a conveyor belt platform or something.
Yeah, like, oh, going this way. But the way it comes up looks pretty organic, respectively anyway. Respectfully, they did a good job animating that, but the return trip to the water, a lot less so. So no, folks, I don't think this is really, plus it looks fake.
But that'd be a fun movie.
Yeah,
probably.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking it'd be, that's pretty good effects, actually. It's pretty good effects, but there's a lot of holes in the way that they rendered it, or told it to render it, I guess. But yeah, the way it glides smoothly back into the water without any locomotion is pretty interesting, because obviously it's shallow water. So
like an old man slipping into a cold bath,
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly. Or me sliding into the lazy boy. Just like that. Just like that. So there you go. That's the last one that I got for you guys. But this has been a production of this. Whoops, not that. I grabbed the wrong one. Let me go back to this. This has been a production of... Hey, I'm on top.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that? Indeed, Shane. Did you enjoy What the Hell Was That?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. I mean, I gotta hand it to you. You're doing a lot more work than I do.
Well,
I hope everybody that tunes in to enjoy your lives and your shows understands how much hard work that you put into these things, and it's not easy. So, I mean, you're a one-man show doing all these graphics and digging up all this research, and
I've got to thank a few of my listeners. Owl 13 came up with that transition and stuff. I found the sound effects for it and the Arnie voice going, what the hell is that? But she made the animation. Unknown has made several for me, and Wes made the one for the news. So he actually made that one for me. So I've had a lot of help in the graphics department, thank God.
Well, okay, I take back everything I said. But no, it's. I mean, this is really put together well, and it's very entertaining. Very entertaining.
I'm glad you think so, man. I really do. I do my best. We're about down to the 10-minute mark, so we've got to get to the next part. And this is another transition that I didn't make, but I'm gonna use it all the same. As soon as I find it, where the hell is it? Well, that's weird. Where is everything going on my computer, man? I got an update on this OBS program, and like it's screwed up a whole bunch of things, but I don't see it here. But I'll see it here, or I'll see it here. Here we go. It's time for. Yeah, everything's all resized and weird now. Time for the Cryptid Corner, ladies and gentlemen, where Shane and I are going to go into some cryptozoological wonderful stories from one or two anyway from SasquatchChronicles.com from the blog. Are you ready, Shane?
I'm always ready.
Thank you, Maggie. Got a $2 Australian donation. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, the blog from Wes, he posts these listener emails, and I love these things. I always go over there and farm these from him, and God bless him for letting me do it. But they're great. A lot of them, you know, I mean, the guy gets about a gajillion emails a week, and he can't possibly get everybody on to interview, but I'm glad he posts their emails because you can look through them and just hear these fantastic stories and experiences. So we're going to start out with July 16th, which is today old. I'm kind of starting new here. I meant to start on the other end, but this is where we're starting. It's a short one. It says July 16th. Let me change screens here. It says, strange sighting during floods. A listener writes, "Good afternoon, Wes. I'd like to share an encounter with my wife and I had during the devastating floods from Hurricane Helene that hit western North Carolina in September of last year. We encountered what was no doubt a female Sasquatch with a juvenile while attempting to get to higher ground. The encounter happened at a very remote area that is part of a watershed here in western North Carolina. After the encounter, I have done some investigating on my own since, and there's really no credible researcher in my area. I've turned up some rather interesting information. Please email me back if you'd like to hear my story." And I imagine that makes sense. Like, if there's flooding happening, they're going to need to get to higher ground too, right? So
yeah, I would think so. Yeah,
probably be a great time to see something like that moving around, because it's not like they can just go business as usual anymore. It's kind of a 911 kind of situation where they're getting gone and in a hurry. So I'll bet you
it's kind of like the St. Helen
Yes.
story. Yeah, stories with
Yes.
the Bigfoot. You know,
Yep.
getting burnt and being rescued and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, those are fascinating, aren't they? I think those are really, really interesting. And granted, that could they be fake? Sure. I mean, could be some creative writing going on and somebody just using a pretty devastating opportunity to write some fantastic fiction. But what if they're real? Or what if only some of them are real? Or one of them is real and the rest of them are bunk? Because there's a ton of stories coming out of St. Helens from that whole thing. So what if only one of those stories is real? That's still amazing, right?
yeah, it only takes one.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
One
For sure,
story.
yeah.
And that's my take on, you know, when I think about cryptids and like Bigfoot and Dogman and stuff, it's like, okay, well, I'm sure some stories are fake. I'm sure some accounts are fake. But if you took 1,000 stories and said only one of them is true, that still means something amazing is happening out there. And at least one of them have to be true, right? By the law of averages. They can't all be lying, can they? Is that even mathematically feasible that everybody would
it's
have?
not.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not. And I mean, I think, you know, you know by this time if somebody's kind of full of crap or not.
Yes.
Or just you know, mentally not all there when they're
Sure.
You know, they know that there's something happened, but how they perceive it is kind of like the ghost. I perceived it as a person. She didn't perceive it as anything, and somebody's going to perceive it somewhere in between. So, you know, is somebody experiencing a Bigfoot in different ways, and just the way they experience it is the difference enough to put questions in people's minds as to whether these stories are real. But we're all, everybody's experiencing something,
right?
You know, and it's just a little bit different. And there's no way. I mean, look, I've tried to. I write fiction. It's too hard to just come up. I'm sorry, people. Everybody's not that creative.
Right.
It's too hard to. It's just too hard to come up with some of that stuff.
And then you just think of the cross section of witnesses. Like, It's not just one type of people or, oh, it's just those kind of people that see this. It's like cross sections of every part of our culture have witnessed this, you know, whether it's doctors, lawyers, biologists, scientists, construction people, retail workers, lawyers, you know, every aspect of society is represented with a witness or more than one. And it's like people are seeing something. And
and it's all over the world.
Right. It's a global,
independent of each other.
Right. International phenomena that is very similar to each other. That's another thing that I mean, it's something I've said many times here on the show, but that still kind of cooks my bacon that with like the Yowie. They probably have a common shared ancestor tens of thousands of years ago. But they've been displaced and separated for tens of thousands of years, but still the behavior is almost still identical. Like they didn't change differently, even though they were, you know, world apart. They still have the same calling cards over in Australia as we have over here. The whoops, the tree breaks, the structures, you know, all of that stuff is just a carbon copy, and it's amazing to me. Yeah. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yep. Okay. Well, that was the first one. Let's get to another one. So I keep the Cryptid family happy out here. We've got a lot of Cryptid followers. They love the Bigfoot. They love their Bigfoot. Well, let's go to July 15th. Some kind of creature sitting on its haunches. Well, it says hunches, but I think they mean haunches. A listener writes, your show has given me the courage to come forward. It's helped me process the experiences my family and I had while living next to, how do you say that, with Lakuchi? I got to leave that alone because I'm a kid at heart. State Forest. I've written this story out many times over the last couple of months, and each version feels more like a short story than an email. So I decided to send you an abbreviated version, just a glimpse into what happened to us over an 8-year period. When my husband and I built our dream home on a raw piece of land near the forest, we couldn't have imagined what we were stepping into. Over time, we encountered lights, orbs, ghosts, shadow figures, and what appeared to be either a skunk ape or a dog man. My personal sighting occurred about 3 years after we moved into our house. I was out on a solo ride early one morning along a deer trail about a half-mile from our home. Riding quietly was my favorite way to spot wildlife. There were normally tons of deer, and on this particular day, things felt off. This particular trail was along an old railroad track bed, and I decided to switch over to a secondary path. To do so, I had to ride up a small incline, and by this time, my horse was pretty lathered up. As I continued to ride, my saddlebag started shifting slightly. I knew I'd have to get off and tighten the cinch pretty soon, so I began looking for something I could use to get back on him. A little about this horse. My horse is a paint stallion named Joker. He's 17 hands high, and while I'm 5'1", so when I get off, I had to find something to get back up high enough to get my foot on the stirrup. Well, I knew up the trail about 150 yards is a large rock that would work for my problem. My horse began to act nervously, sidestepping and tossing his head, and I was starting to freak out a little myself, sensing that I was being watched. Another thing was I hadn't seen one deer or even any of the wild hogs that had recently started filtering in because of the fires in the Green Swamp south of us and Ocala National Forest to the north of us. Well, as I approached the large rock, I planned to use it to adjust my saddle. I glanced back over my shoulder, and to my disbelief, I saw what I initially thought was a stump off of the trail that I'd just ridden by. No way I rode by a stump. I just shook my head and wondered at myself how I'd ridden by that stump while actively looking for somewhere to dismount and tighten up my cinch. Moments later, as I slid off my horse to tighten the cinch, my horse sidestepped, looking back down the trail, stomping his foot and pawing at the ground, and this was really out of character for him. I finished tightening my cinch and climbed up on the rock. As I pulled myself back up on his back, I looked in the direction he was staring, and at that same stump, was suddenly in the center of the trail about 75 yards away. And that's when I realized it was some kind of creature sitting on its haunches and staring directly at me. My horse reared and I barely stayed in the saddle. I stood straight up and then kind of sniffed. It stood straight up and then kind of sniffed the air in my direction, and that's when I noticed the ears. We were both just looking at each other for what seemed like hours. And then it turned its head sideways, kind of like a dog when it hears a squeaky toy. It stepped forward towards us, and my horse just tried to bolt. So I was fighting him, trying to keep control of him, and then he whirled around and away from this thing. I only got a chance to look back once more before my horse turned into the trail heading back to my farm. The creature was running up into the trees. I didn't see if it was chasing me, nor did I try to look again. My horse was flying down that trail, and there were many low-hanging tree branches over the trail that I feared I'd end up on my back on the trail with that thing around. I never rode back out there after that. We had several things happen around our house that I thought were related to this thing, and I always thought it was a Sasquatch that I saw until I started listening to your podcast. Now I think it could have been a dog man. There's so much more to tell. Our dogs had several disturbing run-ins, and my son experienced deeply unsettling phenomena. The entire time we lived there, the activity never stopped. We were haunted by a shadow figure that seemed to fear the appearance of a Native American spirit. Whenever the spirit showed up, the shadow figure would vanish. It was surreal and traumatic. This property drained our finances, disrupted our family life, and turned what we thought was our forever home into something almost unlivable nightmare. Wow. How is that for a story, dude?
That, that's why I don't want to move to Florida. I just gotta be honest. It sounds like they lived, like if there's some really remote and just hot and sweaty parts of Florida.
Oh, sure.
And it's just so different, like from here in Ohio. Like having spent some time down there, I just can't imagine, like, I don't know. I wouldn't have hung around for the Shadow Man once I saw the stump figure. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, we're moving. Okay, kids, pack up. Yep, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because like I said, I know some of these ranches and stuff and farms were way out in the middle, like back in the day in Fort Myers, like a mile outside of town was a dirt road.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You go one way into Fort Myers and the other way off the highway, and it's dirt road and cattle ranches.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
And mosquitoes, like hummingbirds. You know what I'm saying? So, skunk apes just got to be really angry all the time. Just gotta be angry.
They sound like they are a little more aggressive. I think the southern squatches in general tend to be more aggressive than the northern ones. I don't know if that's truly the case, but I've heard them described that way through the years many times.
I think it's probably the body odor that they have to put up with on a consistent basis would just be miserable.
Yeah, well, I suppose if somebody called me skunk ape, I'd get a little crabby too. I'm just saying.
That's right. I've been called a lot worse. Trust me.
Well, we've wrapped up another show, brother. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. You made it the whole run. I didn't know if you were gonna.
Well, I just gotten home from the fair. Our fair's going on here. I sat down and I was like, wait, I got a notice on my phone. I'm like, oh man, what am I getting into? But there's nobody home. Everybody's spending the night at the fair. So,
gotcha.
So I took a nap this afternoon, so I was good.
Okay.
I was good. It was my day off today. But I do have to work tomorrow. So
well, I appreciate you hanging out with me, brother. I appreciate you coming on and helping to keep everybody company here.
Hey, no, it's my pleasure. It's always fun to get on here and have some fun with you. So I appreciate you letting me do it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for the journey tonight into the Paranormal Portal. I hope you had a good time. I hope you're subscribed if you weren't already. I hope you rang the bell and come back again. I do these shows every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, And you're welcome to join on any one of those nights for nothing if you're a member. I'm going to try to do member streams every Tuesday if I can, but at least every other one. We'll see how it all works out. But we had a good show, member show last night. I demonstrated some of that stuff last night, some ghost hunting apps. And we got some kind of cool stuff happening. Nothing major, but it was great discussion, and we're going to do more of that on future ones. So I hope to see all of you guys in there one day, but at least for now, if you're a member, make sure to check out the live shows. I'll try to post in advance a little better, but I'll be back Friday night. Sheldon Thomas should be with me, and we'll do another show, so look for you then. Everybody have a great rest of your week, and take care of yourselves out there. Remember, love you all, be good, be kind, be nice, take care of each other. Find the goodness in every day. Remember to laugh as much as you can. Find the magic in every day. I'll remember my own closing eventually. And I'll talk to you next time. And make sure to check out From the Shadows with Mr. Shane himself. And check out his interviews. He's got some amazing episodes up there on all of the podcasting applications. So give him a follow, give him some love, and subscribe to his shows wherever you find them. And leave good reviews. But that's it for us tonight.
We love good reviews, and we love bad ones because then we get to make fun of them. But that's okay.
Fair enough, brother. All right. Till next time, guys.